flexing on my haters. Straight up flexing on my haters. Girl, fuck it up. And you can do it in them hands. I see you flexing on your haters. Now do your dance, now do your dance. I be flexing on my haters, on my haters. Flying high out my mind, riding through the gator. They said I couldn't get the bag. Now all of these niggas mad. Y'all bitch be so fake. Can't take them so quick. Y'all send it to the low blows, we can no dough, but it's so late. You wanna be, you wanna be. I'm the king, you should honor me. You don't want stars, we going far. Please take a seat, you can look at me. I'm high as a dog. They hate me in my club, and I'm headed to the club, feeling like $1 million, yeah. High as a dog. They hate me in my club, and I'm headed to the club, feeling like $1 million, yeah. I'm just here, I'm just here. I mean, I think it's you. I'm high as a dog, but they hate me in my club, and I'm headed to the club, feeling like $1 million, yeah. Straight up flexing on my haters. Girl, fuck it up. And you can do it in them hands. I see you flexing on your haters. Now do your dance, now do your dance.
Flexing on my haters,
Saru Beats.
Keep talking big, all in my ear. What the hell did you say? Ain't got no chance, can't get no dance. Not unless you are paying. Cash, no joke. Laughing my thing, she's funny. But all I know is bitch better have my money. Every dream you got it. What's the thing? Why we want to be crazy? You don't say.
I'ma throw shade if I can't get paid. 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 I'ma throw shade if I can't get paid.
Shade comes from reading. Reading came first. Reading is the real art form of insult. You get in a smart crack, everyone laughs and kikis because you found a flaw and exaggerated it, then you've got a good read going. Then reading became a developed form where it became shade. Shade is, I don't tell you what,
doing a redo.
but I don't have to tell you because you know.
Yeah.
And that's shade.
Give me the better feel, better have my feel. Do it for the free, I'll never meet. I want the whole damn paycheck. I be out here handling business. These other bitches be baby. Laughing my day, shit funny. All I know is
I'ma throw shade if I can't get paid. 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 I'ma throw shade if I can't get paid.
am Jhon, king and I'm so fly. Bad bitches know why. Candy paint Chevy, still tipping in my low ride. Answer to no die. They bank accounts is on dry. Saying mucho dinero, you niggas. I know that they confident cause we were born rich. And if I came with Berlin, that means I came with the illest. The way she bung on the floor, she twerk, pop at her up. She gets her ass on the floor, and then she drop it. Pull up in the cut and I'm in my bands and me hit the clip, my Benjamins. Pay me, but you won't pay me cause I'm too shady. Shut them like Eminem. I'm here with my people, you already know. I'm in my house, I'm messing, I drop all for the money, cause you for the show. Free for me, they randomly tells. She got a hand out, but she ain't asking for a motherfucking hand out. You wanna spend the night, baby? You must be crazy. My whole team screaming out, fuck you, baby.
I'ma throw shade if I can't be
We Were Born. Make sure y'all go check them out on all media platforms. We Were Born. So dope. So dope. Guys, y'all already know what time it is. It's the Royal Couch time, and we are at an earlier time. I know y'all not used to us being here so early, but this is a redo. We had to get another interview with Jhon Pierre because yesterday, for some reason, Instagram was not liking us, but yet we're going to be great anyway because that's what we are. We are, as Jhon Pierre says, fabulous. You hear me? And we're going to make it do. And for all the people who missed it, and all the people that haven't caught the first half of Jhon Pierre's interview yesterday, it was amazing. So we're going to try to see if we can get that energy back and, get back to the questions that you guys really want to know. But before we get to that, I have to shout out my sponsorships. I am wearing my sponsor. Y'all know AD from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Well, she sponsors the show. She has a clothing brand called Dig the Kicks. This is her shirt. These are her pants. Let me stand up a little bit. Got sneakerhead on my pants. It's super lit. She got dad hats. She got t-shirts, shorts, pants, joggers, sweatsuits, sweaters. I mean, it's super lit. So make sure y'all get to that website, digthekicks.dtk.com. And once you're there, make sure you type that promo code and hit that promo code and type Royal so that you can get 15% off. We are also sponsored by SwagNationMagazine.com, the #1 independent artist magazine in the nation, also reaching 75 countries worldwide. It's a super lit situation, so make sure you get a part of that. That's SwagNationMagazine.com, giving you all the independent work and artistry that you need for all up-and-coming artists. Now, without further ado, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to introduce and bring to the live Jhon Pierre, cast member and star of Fashionaires of ATL, photographer, PR, music consultant. He has worked with so many people, Dondre Nicole and Robert Curry, just to name a few, and that's just a few to his repertoire. His Rolodex is very long. He has a lot of knowledge, and he has been in this industry doing so much as a music artist. I mean, just his resume is super, super long. So without further ado, I want to bring on Mr. Jhon P. Hey, hi.
So I was when you called me earlier, I was earthing. So a part of my meditation is earthing and things of that nature, and I'm here with Bars to Floors, and this is one of my things I do maybe once a week.
Yes, I love earthing. Look, I look. Every time I learn something new about you, it's just amazing. You are just an amazing person.
The thing is, with your body, you must meditate. You know, that's the only way things are going to happen with manifestations and just being great. I have a new dreadlock, sorry. But that's the only way things are going to happen is through earthing and centering yourself and learning yourself and becoming one with your own self. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have my client Barbara's the Flora. She participated with me on my Fiestas and Photos event I just did for my birthday finale of my weekend. She was part of the committee that did the setup and things like that. So it was just really a beautiful production that happened. And you know, we're planning our next situation, and we're earthing at the same time to allow manifestations to happen. And
I love
yeah,
it.
that's what
I love it. This is why I love my platform, because with us not having an in studio, we're allowed to go many different places and allow you guys, our guests, to be many different places. We've had people in the studio, we've had people driving, we've had people on set, we've had people so many different places, and I love that because the viewers, your fans, your supporters get to see you in your own atmosphere, get to see what you do on your day-to-day basis, and you being in your zone makes it comfortable for everybody. So it doesn't feel like an interview, it's more of a conversation. You know, and you being with your client, you know, and earthing is, I just think that's a beautiful vibe, just a beautiful setup. There's no better scenery than what you're giving right now. Look at that beautiful background. You're just giving great energy.
we're
So
in New
thank
York,
you for that.
baby.
Thank you for that.
Well, and you know, and the biggest picture of it all is to show the biggest picture in life. And sometimes when people can't see, you have to show them. Maya Angelou said it best, you know, it is, you know what I'm saying? We all know what she said, so yeah.
So before we get started, I know for all the people who missed our interview yesterday, unfortunately there's some crazy stuff, but we're going to be fabulous anyway, and we're going to do an amazing interview today. And again, I thank you for coming onto this platform. It has been a blessing and an honor to have you again today, and thank you for even being patient with me to come back on today.
Well, I early, like I said, when I was earthing, I was just like, you know, it was such a beautiful moment. After I just felt like it would be perfect timing now, because I am like really, really busy. But I was like, yo, like this is perfect timing. Like, let me call him right now before I start jumping around all these other meetings, and you know.
So before we get started with everything, can you let everyone know where they can find you at, and a good, you know, center place where they can find all your social media and all of that?
Yes, you can find me at www.jhon, JHONPIERREINTL.com, and that can be applied to Instagram. Once you find that Instagram, you'll find the subsidiary Jhon Pierre Instagram with his JPIERRECORNELL, which also has Instagram, Twitters, and others social media platforms attached. So it's pretty consistent. But once you go to my website, it'll feed you into the specific hubs, whether it be my music sector, photography sector, clothing line sector. It'll feed you into the specific hub to guide you, you know, down the specific road you're looking to work with me at what capacity.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So before we get started here on the Royal Couch, you know, and thank you for, again, being a part of our family now. We like to get to know our guests and take us before what we only see on TV or on the runway or wherever that you know, we may see Jhon Pierre. I like to go before, you know, all of that, and let us know, back in the day, what was your mindset and how was fashion inspired to you for you to then start your journey?
Well, what I would say is that as a gravity. But anyways, I would like to say that in the answer to your question, my mother and grandmother were seamstress, and I was a church, you know, PK kid, and you know, we did fashion shows and things like that. I also performed with a band, you know, my sisters and I and brother. We had a band called the Hall Singers, and we had a few of our friends in it, and we kind of sort of grew up in that world and that ramifications of our own like little lifespan that we enjoyed. Like that's why I still do it, you know. So I learned to sew, and I know to do these things. And with life, I wanted to meet people, and consistency is really what it was about.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope because you know what? You know, people don't know the depth of what people inspired to be. They just see you and they see you now and don't realize the work, the grind, the inspiration that it took for you to get to where it's at. And that's why I like to kind of go back because people need to understand the beginning so that they can appreciate the present and go into the
Right.
future with great expectations. So
Right.
with that being said, you know, you touched on being a music artist and stuff. Tell me that experience and what guided you into even being founded within music.
Well, it was also crazy when I came to, and moved to New York in 2005, and I ended up just doing like all of the things that I love because I realized that I could be the free spirited that I was, and I came here just on a mission just to accomplish a few things. I had told my wife then, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna do all of these things, and we're about to get it. And that was like one of my first times just really just jumping out of the box. And I came back to Jacksonville 2007, opened up a company called Pierre International Models, worked with the music side of things. But my music career itself, I came to New York, I performed at the Sugar Bar for Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson, God bless their soul, God bless his soul. You know, so, and Patty LaBelle was there, and it was a beautiful thing at such a young age. And that kept me rolling, but at the time, I got a deal with Columbia, and it was 360, and I didn't want it, so I walked away. And then I went on to just wanting to teach those that wanted to know certain things in music. But then it was kind of sort of costly, so I decided, do fashion because that's, the next level of where I really love. You know what I'm saying? And it was more so expression to me through fashion over music. You know what I'm saying? Is how I fell in love with the understanding.
That's great. And speaking about fashion, your style yourself, is really extraordinary. It's really out and pop in the face, but it's also very you and authentic to you to where when we see you, we're like, wow, you look amazing. And not many people can work the things that you work. And it goes from, clothing to hairstyles and styles and all of that stuff.
Right.
So where does that come from? And I know you say your mother and grandmother were seamstress. Is that kind of what gets your pop, or you get that from somewhere else?
Well, it just depends on the particular situation as to how I feel that day and exactly my direction of where I want to go, which way I want to go with that. And then from there, it's such a beautiful thing because I am able to, just make it do what it do for the people and just bring it, so to speak.
Right. Well, I think because you're so authentic is why people grasp to you. It's like, okay, he doesn't care what it is. He's not here to.
What I wear is what I feel. So it's not about what the next person thinks about it. And another thing that I like to tell a lot of people is that I am a label, so I don't have to wear labels because I am my own label. So I could be in your highest end label, or I could be in something to create it to be the next label. Whatever I am and whatever I'm in, people want it and they love it because it's presented to them in a different perspective. And that's exactly why we're here today interviewing, because I want to give my perspective on exactly, the Fashionaires and who I am and how I got to be in my disposition, so to speak.
Yes, great. And that you are doing. So let's touch on Fashionaires a bit and get to the whole process of how did this start and how did you get involved with Fashionaires?
I got involved with Fashionaires by working with KL on another project. I was living in New York in 2012. And I got a call from one of the models, one of the Caucasian models, who was, I guess, working on the project with this or something. And then she was just like, Jhon, Pierre, I met you. I love your energy. I love your spirit. KL needs you for the show he's trying to do. I really think you should come and do it. And I was like, well, is he paying? Because I'm in New York. I'm living. I got a lot of things going on. I'm trying to film my own situation here. I was working on a project called Staying Relevant. you know, I was filming that with my production agent and all of these things. So I stopped it because I was just like, you know what? If they need me, let me just test the waters with them and see exactly how it works out. And then expound and go from there, you know, so to speak. And I stay consistent with it, although Candy Bird stole the initial show, which was called Hotlanta.
Oh wow.
So I don't know how that spiraled to where she got it, but it literally went through the headlines and KO made a big fuss about it. And it was a stolen show that we had worked on for like 2.5 years, 2012 to 2014. I would come down from New York to Atlanta and film with him. And it was just like, wow. It was like, wow. So, yeah, but it was 2 years we filmed for Atlanta. It ended up being a nothing. We end up 2015. I was just like, yo, I'm going to come that way. And I came down 2015. And I was like, okay, we're just going to film. So 2015, we began to try and create other ideas with filming. And it just became beautiful. It grew and it grew and it grew. And we filmed 3-Way Studios that never did anything. But then we ended up with this new idea called Fashionaires. And he put it to great beauty. Like, he really put it to great beauty. So it's a beautiful platform just for it to be a platform.
Right.
And no matter what, it's about perspective. So if I'm able to give my perspective, then my voice is heard regardless of what angle the show is casted from, or perspective is casted from.
All right, well, dope. That's dope. Well, I appreciate you and your character that I've learned so far thus in Fashionaires. I feel like shout out to KL. He's done an amazing job with the show as far as quality and as far as content, as far as delivery. I feel like he gives us a bit of everyone, because everyone is a part of the development of this show and the success of this show, of 22K more views in not even 2 weeks, you know. So that's a beautiful thing, and congratulations to all of you guys. But you know, you guys have gave us drama, entertainment, fashion, knowledge, you know, careers. You know, you guys are actually out here doing something, and it's a beautiful thing, not only for our community, but for the fashion community within the ATL and within the South, period, because you don't just represent ATL, you represent the South, you know, and owning that we are as fashion as everyone else.
I would go as far as saying it represents fashion to the ones who feel they're looked on to be underdogs. I mean, because you know, it's just, again, perspective. But I'll say it like that because in all that you do, you can get to exactly where you're trying to go. Again, it takes consistency, and Hale has been very consistent. I wanted to work on this project with him. When we tried it out for Atlanta, the Ideal Company liked it. They loved me. So I thought I would stay, and I said I'll finish it, you know, and it has been a beautiful process to create the Fashionaires and to watch it when I haven't saw it before, just to watch it come to life.
And I know that's right. So getting into it more, you know, through episode 1, you know, within the first minute or so, you know, we get a lot, and it's, you know, Chazelle and Tracia kind of going at it, and you kind of set hope to the whole situation, to which is going to be, I'm sure, the next big tagline, which is, I don't vibrate at a low frequency to even worry about what's going on here, you know. So with all that being said, what was that moment?
That's the message.
I know that's right. So what was that moment for you?
Well, actually, when I saw the scene, I didn't even realize I did that. But I know that I had my son there with me. And he had just, you know, like he was already like a, you know, kind of sort of like a troubled teen, so to speak. And I didn't want him to feel like he had to do a protective mode, so to speak. So in my state that I was, I kind of sort of just, you know, boasted up and felt like, okay, it's time to say something. And when I watched it, that was my first time seeing me say that. So I was like, wait, I said that? So it was one of those moments I didn't remember filming, but I was proud of filming that moment, so to speak.
Right.
Just within itself, yeah.
Well, I know we're gonna see more of what happened throughout that scene, and I'm excited to see what else is going to transpire. But we later then see you, you're talking with Tracia, which is your client,
Client.
and you're talking about magazines and kind of taking her to the next level with her brand, Simply Straight, her magazine, and thus forth. So can you give us a little bit on that and how that's going?
Okay, so me and Tracia, we started out. I met Tracia when we were filming with KL the Three-Way Studios supposed show that me, him, and Marvey was doing. And then Marvey had a cosmetic line, and then Tracia was a model for the cosmetic line, and I was the doorman in the video. And it was a really beautiful campaign that KL put together. He's great with putting together these campaigns. So it ended up being a beautiful campaign, and that's how I met Tracia. And then I began to work with her, and she wanted to create these ideas, and they had these ideas, and we began to ponder on them. And then the show came about. And once the show came about, she was working on an idea for a magazine and the hair care product. Then she got the investors for the hair care product, and then she started, doing her and her team started doing the blueprints for the template for the magazine. So then there was a template that was created. And that template, it did amazing things and numbers for the Tracia J brand, because as we film Fashionaires, we are now on the shelves right now today of Books A Million and so many other news shows for real. Just in a year and a half's time of filming, we are now on the shelves.
I know that's right. That is amazing. Shout out to Tracia, shout out to you and the work and that just shows the type of person you are you are a go-getter. You are somebody that knows what he wants, knows how to get it, and when you're there, and you pull out. When you show up, you show out. And that's an amazing thing that, people, especially today, don't see nowadays, especially within our community. And it's good to see people it's good seeing each other backing and supporting each other, because that's what we need more of. You know what I mean? There's enough room for all of us to sit at top.
And that's just like I would consider me and KL to be like brothers types, because we are going to argue. We aren't going to always see each other's perspective if it's not written or set down to be explained thoroughly. But when those moments do happen, things are very, very beautiful. When we really execute and thoroughly go through things, strategically, and just make sure every I is dotted. It's a beautiful situation each and every time. Even for us to be doing the show Fashionaires, it's a beautiful situation of at least I's dotted and T's crossed to get to a platform to where it actually made it this time. Because again, we've had other situations that we worked on that didn't. And you hear Ronaldo, which is also a character, Donaldo, who is also a character from the Hotlanta series, and he says, "KL, we've did this before." You'll hear that in the storyboard where he's on the team. Jhon, Pierre, or the expert says, a few of my friends in New York they're calling this team the experts up here in New York. So I'll go with that. So I'll say Donato, he's on the experts team. He's a makeup artist who's worked with everybody from Maya Angelou on. And you just have to watch the show. But here's another one that's a staple too. And we've been here with KL on this journey for a very long time, enduring and making sure that his dreams are manifested with this. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we went through a few different seasons. So you're going to get real, you're going to get passion, and you're going to get a beautiful season.
Yes, I believe it, because episode 1 shows us that already. So, moving forward in episode 1, which then takes us to what the title of the show is, Gullah Gullah, which is AKA your gala. And your gala is iconic thing. It's an annual thing that happens that many people of the industry comes to, and it's a very high end, very catered, very much, just that feng
And I
shui
do
type
that.
of. Yes, you do
I,
that. Very fabulous, as Jean
yes.
Pierre is.
And,
But this year, you decided to do something a little bit different. Explain that. And
well, see, on that particular, on the Gullah Gullah, I just thought it was so beautiful because I wanted to, one, I knew that I was filming, and two, because I wanted to complete exactly the launching of my whole brand. So I did everything that the year before did not do, which was launching of the Next Artist to Blow movement, you know, and having just an overload of art, decor, desserts. So I did everything that that one didn't have, literally. You know, I still came out of pocket an easy 1,500 just for the event because I had to hire DJ Free City. You know, I hired him. So it wasn't just like it's at his house. Like it was money still involved. You know, so it was beautiful from the perspective that they call it the Gullah, because that was a show I used to watch growing up, the Gullah Gullah Island. So I thought it was really cute. So it was beautiful. I thought it was beautiful that they tried to paint a picture, but I thought it was beautiful because I launched and I knew, Tracia knew, my people knew, the ones that were there. I saw some of the comments say, "Oh yeah, Jhon Pierre was doing this thing and all these people paid." Well, no. If you're a part of my situation, you got the invite. You understood. It was business casual dress. It was understood that it was the music. So a lot of people knew the different perspective of it. You know what I'm saying? They knew it was more kickback, more laid back, relaxed environment. They knew it was at my home. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew the difference. It was only KL that didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But even my angle from that is, industry people, even if you comp them for your events, even if you give them the access, like, why should they bring like an extra friend? You know, why would they bring an extra friend without consent? Now, granted, it'll be okay sometimes. Like, Asia Cherie was my friend and it was okay. But why would you just... And that's why I really didn't want to do it the following year, because it did have such a big hype about it. And I know exactly... I went through the guest list myself to see exactly some of the people who was trying to RSV. No.
right,
Just like comp, no. Like, that's not the circuit I'm in for that. No.
right. Well, that was a
Yeah, it
very
was...
interesting night. That's what we watched on Fashionaires, and with that night being considered, a lot of people, including your cast members, had a lot of different things to say about their night, and even Asia, coming into the house thinking that, I guess everyone's expectation as far as KL's, Charzelle, and Asia's point of view was they was coming to this amazing high-end gala, and it was not that. So, knowing that these expectations and these comments were made, what was your take on the garage scene, and why was, it such a big deal, you feel like, to even discuss what type of event it was?
With the hi Mickey, boo, I love you, Mickey. But the whole thing with the garage scene is, it was already created because I knew that KL and Charzelle wanted to film there. Now, it was a table set up with some cheap, purple, situation. Again, it wasn't going to be anything over the top. My cousin had just passed, got killed by the police the day before. Like, I really couldn't endure it. Like, I'm sorry, I have to go to my next meeting. But I really couldn't endure it. So, it just was a situation to where life itself, I had to do what I had to do. I ruined the step myself so that they could have something moments prior. It wasn't anything that was, just torn down for life. It was done moments prior. So it's just a beautiful situation of being able to, again, create and be a creative in the process of making it look like TV,
Right. Well, and I respect and love your energy about it, because you're just happy with the outcome and success of the show, despite what the picture is trying to be painted, or despite what is going on, negative or positive. And I love that energy because we need more of that. We need to be able to always be able to turn a situation to a smile, always, no matter what the situation is. And my condolences to you and your family for your loss of your cousin. My prayers will definitely go out to you and your family. So going forward within that experience, you know, you kind of throughout the episode see a kind of hate-love relationship between you and KL. And with you and KL, you know, KL pushes you to the side, and it's you, KL, Charzelle, and Asia sitting upstairs in a room, and y'all two kind of go at it. Can you explain that moment and why you feel like it was necessary for KL to bring you to the side to actually have that?
I felt like it was necessary, one, because I was already grieving and I was drinking, and I was really not in a space to really entertain anything. Granted, he was talking about something a few weeks back. Like, that was literally the beginning of the year, actually. So this was like 2 weeks later. So I'm saying, like, I wasn't in the same space for you to bring it up. I felt like it was rude. You know, my cousin did die. I had to explain that to him. But again, me and him are brothers, so I understood and overstood exactly. Like, he felt like he had to say something about it. But my thing is, like, Charzelle, and I had to tell Asia exactly who she was because, you know, that's Asia was my friend for a while. I've known her, so it's just one of those things where I had to say what I had to say when I had to say it.
Look, hello, period. Look, we're gonna.
Hello.
Hello. So that's dope. Well, I think, you know, at first the conversation I thought could have been handled well, but I think on both sides it started to get petty. But like you said, you had a lot going on in your mind, and you were just lashing out, and you had to say what you had to say. Because, I mean, honestly, we all like to defend ourselves, especially with our craft and our work, when people start to criticize our craft and our work, and especially when we work so hard. But we can see as an audience, well, I can see anyway, that there's love there, and that's why that brotherhood, because we all fight with our brotherhood. We love our brothers, but we can't stand our brothers, and we all have that feeling. So I can kind of see that happening. And like you said earlier, the work that y'all do together is a beautiful thing. You know, past that. So, go ahead.
Yeah, and one of the things is, I'm very passionate about everything that I do with everybody I do everything with. Like, I don't like to waste time. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste anyone else's time. You know, so I want to be able to, when I work with people and build rapport, and me and Kay have been working together since 2011 on various situations. I want to be able to build something and not come to tear anything down, you know, but build excellence.
I know that's right.
Again, that's why we're Fashionaires, because this is something 3 shows later, so to speak. And it's a beautiful situation right now.
Well, I know you're on the move, and I want to ask you one last question because we do have the second part, so I'm going to kind of combine and edit it together so that we can continue it. But one last question that I love to ask all my cast members before I let you go on your busy, busy day. I know watching and then filming the experience is 2 different experiences. Can you explain what it was to actually film, then to watch yourself back? And then the second part to that question being, do you like what you see when you watch yourself back?
Well, see, my thing is, I went in to make sure that whatever perspective was shown was going to be shown proper and not tacky. Like, it's not going to be. So if it shows John Pierre being an asshole, then I really was being an asshole. If it shows John Pierre being nice, then I was really genuinely being nice for whatever that situation was. If I was like, I'm just passionate in my moment, and it's not in it. Like, people say, oh, he's bipolar. No, I'm not bipolar. I know exactly what I'm trying to execute. If you give me an agenda and you say, let's work on it together, that's what I'm executing, and let's say it different-wise. And that's just how I am. That's just me in business, period. And that's my success rate with all of my clients. Like, I don't have a turnover rate. Like the clients that I'm not currently working with, it's just because of other situations and growth situations and just John Pierre's team at the particular time, I had to shut it down. And even that OB showed, you know what I'm saying, where I've had to shut my New York team down. But, you know, it's a beautiful situation within itself just to see a perspective of the creator refocused and re-showed to myself. And I'm in awe, but I'm so acceptive of it because it's life's perspective for the viewer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's beautiful. I love your mind. I love how that brain ticks. And I'm very much inspired, as well as I'm sure so many other people, just from the many different hats that you wear, to the success rate, to the names, the amazing mainstream names that you have worked with, to the amount of just knowledge you have and the humbleness to share it with everyone, and to be gracious enough to work with someone as high as, a mainstream A-list celebrity, to someone as just trying to make it and start up. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Right.
That is a beautiful thing.
We all have to have support from someone. W.E.D. Du Bois said it best. The 10% that are making it supposed to help the 90% that aren't. I was taught that as a kid, so those are one of my lessons, regardless of what anybody says about their personal perception. I'm Jhon Pierre because I built my own perception and I enjoy it, not because of someone else's view on me. So, that's one of my good things.
Yes, this has been a blessing, and honestly, I love, love, love you. I love you on the show, and I love the person that I have gotten to know throughout this interview, thus yesterday and today. And I think you are a beautiful individual. Keep spreading your love. Keep spreading your light. We need more of you within this world and within in our life, just so that we can keep that smile going. So again, thank you for coming onto this platform. I humbly
Thank you
and
so
love.
much. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day. Stay vibrate higher, live your best life, but always be considerate of everyone, mankind. You know what I'm saying? Always be considerate and help mankind.
Yes, for your waterfall going. Look, your waterfall is just running, honey.
Yeah, I'm about to. This is right here. Yeah, so please, y'all have a beautiful day.
And how dope was he? Make sure y'all go and find Jhon Pierre on all social media websites. Also, go follow the Royal Cows on all social media websites. We are the Royal Cows, DAROYALCOUCH. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We are on everywhere. Make sure you go to swagnationmagazine.com and catch some of our interviews on there as well. We're super lit. We're super excited. And until next time, we love you. Deuces.